AmiSSL 5.27, a critical open source update. The integration of OpenSSL 3.6.2 necessitates immediate scrutiny for potential security vulnerabilities. AmiSSL, a vital open source encryption protocol primarily utilized within the legacy Amiga OS ecosystem, has recently undergone an update to version 5.27.
This release incorporates modifications directly derived from the newly released OpenSSL version 3.6.2, a significant advancement published a single day prior. The strategic importance of this update stems from OpenSSL's foundational role in securing a vast array of modern systems. However, the update's implications for Amiga OS, a platform largely unsupported and vulnerable by default, demand careful consideration.
The inherent challenges presented by the aging architecture of Amiga OS, coupled with the potential for introducing new RCE remote code execution vulnerabilities through the updated OpenSSL library, necessitate a thorough risk assessment before widespread deployment. Furthermore, the reliance on an open-source project with a diminished development community introduces an element of uncertainty regarding long-term security maintenance and future support, creating a critical operational gap.
Historical context. The Amiga OS security landscape. The vulnerability of Amiga OS highlights the persistent risk associated with legacy systems. Historically, Amiga OS has operated within a precarious security environment, largely due to its prolonged absence of active development and the inherent limitations of its architecture.
The platform's reliance on older cryptographic libraries, coupled with a lack of robust security patching mechanisms, has consistently exposed it to significant vulnerabilities. The recent release of OpenSSL 3.6.2, a version incorporating substantial security enhancements designed to address emerging threats against contemporary systems, creates a stark contrast with the continued operation of AmiSSL within the Amiga OS ecosystem.
This divergence amplifies the platform's susceptibility to exploitation, as the outdated encryption protocols lack the protections afforded by the latest security features. The ongoing support for Amiga OS, primarily driven by hobbyist and enthusiast communities, has proven insufficient to adequately mitigate the inherent risks associated with this antiquated operating system, reinforcing the urgency of addressing this critical security gap.
Strategic Deep Dive. OpenSSL 3.6.2 and Amiga OS. The integration introduces significant vulnerabilities due to architectural mismatches. The strategic implications of integrating OpenSSL 3.6.2 into AmiSSL within the Amiga OS environment are profoundly complex, primarily stemming from fundamental architectural incompatibilities.
OpenSSL 3.6.2 incorporates numerous security enhancements designed for modern, multi-core processors and contemporary operating systems, features wholly absent from the Amiga OS architecture, a 16-bit system predating the widespread adoption of modern security practices. Consequently, the updated AmiSSL library is likely to operate inefficiently, potentially introducing performance bottlenecks, and crucially, fails to leverage the core security improvements within the OpenSSL release.
The lack of proper kernel-level integration and the absence of contemporary security mechanisms within Amiga OS create a significant vulnerability surfaced, increasing the probability of successful RCE attacks. Furthermore, the reliance on legacy cryptographic algorithms within AmiSSL, combined with the inherent limitations of the Amiga OS security model, creates a situation where even minor flaws in the implementation could be exploited with devastating consequences, demonstrating a critical misalignment of modern security needs with the platform's foundational constraints.
Verdict and projection. A critical vulnerability remains. The continued use of AmiSSL 5.27 poses an unacceptable risk to Amiga OS systems. The strategic verdict regarding the continued utilization of AmiSSL 5.27 within the Amiga OS ecosystem is unequivocally negative. The inherent vulnerabilities introduced by the integration of OpenSSL 3.6.2, coupled with the platform's fundamental architectural limitations, represent an unacceptable risk profile.
Predictably, without immediate remediation, Amiga OS systems remain highly susceptible to exploitation, potentially leading to data breaches, system compromise, and significant operational disruptions. Future risks include targeted attacks exploiting known vulnerabilities within the outdated OpenSSL library, alongside the potential for the discovery of novel attack vectors specifically tailored to the platform's architecture.
Strategic next steps necessitate a complete migration to a supported encryption solution, either through the development of a compatible Amiga OS-specific implementation or by leveraging alternative modern encryption protocols, effectively acknowledging the platform's obsolescence and prioritizing security over legacy compatibility.